Hey guys, what's up? It's JRP Sunsun from JG Games, and in this tutorial we're going to be talking about a very cool software called MagicaVoxel. So if you haven't heard what it is, MagicaVoxel is basically a way to create Minecraft style art or minimalistic styles of art using a very basic 3D modeling software. And it's also open source and free. It used to be on GitHub, but now it's on their own standalone website. And basically it allows you to prototype your game or make artwork very, very quickly. So in this tutorial, I haven't been seeing that many organized tutorials. I've seen a lot of screen captures and people just showing you how to do stuff without any talking. And I've also seen some tutorials where it's not been very descriptive whatsoever. That's why this tutorial has taken so long to come out with, was because I really wanted to learn all that I could about this software so that I could get a cool tutorial out to you guys and that this would be a really well-versed software tutorial. So this tutorial is going to be pretty structured. We've got 5 different parts: the intro and the installing, which is going to be in just a couple of seconds. The movement around the scenes, we're going to be showing you how to actually navigate around your scene and stuff like that. We're going to talk about the windows next, so the different panels that you'll have. And then the 4th part, we're going to talk about the tools, which is going to be how you're going to actually make your models. And at the end, we'll conclude and we'll kind of sum up what we did. So first of all, let's go ahead and let's go download MagicaVoxel. So I'm going to go to my Chrome and I'm just going to Google MagicaVoxel. And it's already one of my searches, and you'll see it'll be this top one. It is still on GitHub, I'm sorry. So I'm going to click on this one right here, and you'll notice that it brings us to this very simple page. Basically, just select your operating system, and then you can go and select it from there. I'm just going to click right here so I can open this, and I'm going to extract this folder to our desktop. So I'm going to go to here, and I'm just going to go to desktop, and I'm going to extract it here. All this is going to do is this is going to put this on our desktop so that we can get to it later. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on MagicaVoxel's folder that we just opened, and I'm going to go to this file right here, this executable file. And just like any application, I'm going to double click to open it up. Now this will open up this window, and it may seem a bit overwhelming at first. It certainly was for me, but I think we're going to be able to get through this pretty well. So now that's basically all there is to installing the software. But now let's talk about how you actually move around your scene. There's a couple key controls. So right click allows you to rotate around your scene. Your middle mouse button allows you to pan around the scene, and your scroll wheel allows you to zoom in and out. To recap, you've got your right mouse button, which allows you to rotate around the scene. You got your middle mouse button, which allows you to pan, and then if you use the scroll wheel, you can actually zoom in and out. So that's basically all there is to movement around the scene. It's pretty straightforward. If you've used Blender, this should come very naturally to you. So you are kind of limited to how big you can make your models because it's a pretty lightweight software and it would get bogged down pretty easily. So we're just going to be using 40/40/40 today, but just note that you can't make that big of files using it. You can make all that you want inside of here, but you can't really expand outside of this blue square that much. Alright, so after that tangent, let's hop on and talk about the different windows that we have. So we're going to be talking about 4 main ones right now: the palette, the brush, this model render view, the edit, and the file window. So let's just go ahead and start going left to right with palette. So palette allows you to select different colors that you're going to use to paint on your object. So I select the brush tool right here, which is the B, and then I go to paint, and I'm going to select I'll select like a red color. Now I can start painting onto my object, and you can use all the different tools to use paint. That's the nice thing about this attach erase paint mode. We'll talk about that later, but you can paint using these colors, and you can also select these colors. So like now that we've got red, let's add like a green or so, and we can paint that up there. It makes it really easy to paint on your model. That's the palette window. It basically just allows you to save color presets. You can also open hue saturation values thing, and you can choose which color you want exactly, but I find that these presets are pretty handy as they are. Then you've got your brush layout. Now we're going to be talking about all these brushes more specifically, but this is just basically how you actually interact with your object. So the brush tool allows you to just freehand stuff. So with the paint, you can just paint colors and stuff. It's pretty straightforward. It's not that difficult. With erase, you can actually drive in like that, and you can delete faces, but we're going to talk about those more specifically coming up. These are basically just going to show how to interact with your object, whether it be painting or adding new vertices or mirroring something. It's basically just how you're going to interact with your object. Now you've got your model render view, and I really don't know what to call it. I guess I'm just going to call it the 3D view from now on. So you got your model view, and this is kind of like your scene view in Unity. Your model view is what you're going to be working on in game. And then you've got your render view, which is how it's going to look when you actually render it out. Now, it does actually provide a pretty good rendering software, and people have used that before. And I've seen lots of great artworks made, and all have been rendered out using this MagicaVoxel render, and I've heard it's pretty good. But first, we're just going to be focusing on this edit mode, I guess, right now, working with the model itself, not working on the rendering. Then you got your edit view over here. Basically right here, you got all your different tools. So you got full, so if we had our brush tool out and paint and we selected the green and we selected full, it would paint the entire cube green. So you've got a bunch of very useful tools from rotating to flipping to looping, scaling, repeating, etc. All kinds of tools that will help you perform bulk actions using this MagicaVoxel software. And then you've got your file window right here. Think of this like your file browser. So you're gonna be able to see all kinds of different voxels and stuff that have been already saved. And if we go back to the MagicaVoxel folder, you'll notice that we have this voxel folder, and this is where people can actually, you can put stuff in here and you can save stuff and it will pop up in this window. That's where the folder goes. Basically, this is just a bunch of different files that are saved here, and the MagicaVoxel knows how to read them. And then you got pattern. Now, I'm not going to be diving too far into pattern because I honestly have no idea how they work. And basically, this is going to allow you to make a pattern in your scene using the pattern brush. But I have been working on this for at least a week. I've been looking up tutorials left and right on how to use this pattern view. If somebody would like to explain how to do this in the comments below, that'd be much appreciated. Thank you so much, but I honestly have no idea how to do that. All right, so now that we've got that, we're almost done with this tutorial because really this is an art suite. You get to do what you want with it. I can't really tell you how to do certain stuff because I'm a horrible artist myself. So let's just talk about the brush tools. Now the brushes are how you're going to actually interact with your object, as I think I've said like 11 times. So you've got a couple different tools that are abbreviated by L, C, P, V, F, B. You can actually use the keyboard on your keys. So to select the L tool, you can hit the L key, C, P, etc. So basically, there's 6 different main types, but then there's also these 3 different, I guess, modes that you can get. So for the first one, we have this line tool. Now what I'm going to do to explain this is I'm going to hit Control A to select the entire thing. Then I'm going to hit the backspace key so that I delete everything. This will make it a little bit easier for you guys to see what I'm doing. Now I'm going to zoom in right here. Now the line tool allows you to actually draw a line straight using squares, which is usually pretty hard, but MagicaVoxel makes it pretty easy. So if I select this line tool and then I select attach, because this is the easiest way to show it, I can just now draw a line from this corner to this corner. Now I've continued to select that green color, so that's why that color is right there. And you can see that it made it really easy to draw a line right there, but that isn't confined. You can also draw 3D lines. So if we wanted to draw a line in 3D space, all we need to do is just click right here and then just drag it to that corner. And you'll notice that it goes around like that, which is because I haven't done this right, and it looks like it just goes up. But from a perspective view, it kind of looks like it's going up the same way. So that's basically the line tool, but now we're going into this attach thing. Well, this is kind of cool. So now you've got yourself attach, erase, paint. Now I'm going to try to stay this tangent off a little bit. Attach allows you to add faces, erase allows you to delete faces, and paint allows you to change the color of faces. That's basically just what it is in a nutshell. So I'm going to hit Control Z a couple times so I can delete those lines, and now let's move on to the C tool, which is the circle tool. Basically what this allows you to do is draw a circle in your scene. So you can make a really cool circle like that, and you can make a couple of them, and you can make some, like, I don't know, a fidget spinner or something like that.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
I can erase right here in a circle, and that makes it really easy because I can now make some really cool different designs by just simply deleting different parts of it. And of course you've got those artifact cubes and you can delete those later, but I think it looks kind of cool. So basically that's what this tool does. It allows you to draw circles, erase circles, and paint circles. So you can see that if I draw right here, I could do like that, and then I could have, like, I guess an olive. So that's the C tool. Now the P tool, I'm kind of going to try to stay away from this because I have no idea how to use patterns. This is your pattern tool. Now this allows you to paint patterns and attach patterns and stuff like that. I have been unable to figure out how it works recently, and I apologize for that. But I understand from videos I've seen researching this, I've seen that it is a very useful tool when creating like a floor, making a tile floor, because then you don't have to make the same thing over and over and over again. I've seen that it is very useful. I've just been unable to figure out how to use it. Then you've got your V tool, which I'm going to call the voxel tool because it's essentially freehand line drawing. So if the line tool allows you to draw a line in a straight line, then your V tool, or I'm going to call it the voxel tool, allows you to draw in any shape you want to. It allows you to draw freehand, which makes it really, really nice because now you're not confined to whatever, you can now draw whatever you want, and you're not confined to a straight line. So again, erase allows you to freehand erase, so you can just erase any cube on there, just freehand. Now you can also change the size, so I'm going to hit Control Z a couple times, and I'm going to change this up to 4, and I'm going to attach, and now you can see that I can actually draw in a little bit higher quality. I can draw in a little bit bigger cubes. And then you've got fill. Well, fill basically allows you to just fill a layer. Now it'll do 1 cube high, so in this case we could do this 40 times and it would go all the way up to the top, but we're just going to stick with 1 at the bottom. You can also use with this in part with the voxel or the line to fill a certain area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a quick little shape real quick, like this. Now I've made kind of like a weirdish shape, so now I can go to my red tool and go fill, and I can click attach, and it will fill the inside of that line. Every cube inside of that line will become a red. Pretty useful, very, very helpful. You can also do this to erase stuff, and you can also use it to paint stuff. So you can fill sections of your line rather than having to paint stuff one by one. And it does all sides of the cube too. And then finally, we've got our brush tool. Now this is mainly used for just painting in general because it allows you to freehand paint cubes. Now that's basically the only use I've found for it right now, but I understand that you can add cubes as well in a cube form. So if I hit undo a bunch and I just hold it down so that it goes away, I'm gonna hit Control A to delete everything again. Now if I go to the attach, you can see that I can just create these squares. So this I feel would be very useful in map making. So let's say we wanted to have a player spawn right there, and then we wanted to have an enemy spawn, like let's say over here. Then you can make like some different walls and stuff so that they couldn't come through. That's the use I would see for using something like MagicaVoxel, and this tool right here is for making like a very quick drawing of something. So that's basically the brush tool. The erase tool works very similarly. So if we go all the way back to when we had a whole cube, I'm going to click none over here, and now you can see that I can draw a square right here. So I can make, or I guess that's not a square, but I can now start cutting into the actual shape based on what layer I've put it on. And you can see the more and more I move my mouse, you can see that you can actually change how deep it actually goes. So that's basically a rundown on how MagicaVoxel works. Now here's the thing, is that when doing something like with MagicaVoxel and making a tutorial about it, I can't show you how to actually make something like a beautiful artwork like Monument Valley was. I can't show you how to do this. This is all about your creativity. You go and do what you want. I am a horrible artist, so I can't tell you how to do this. I can't tell you all the uses, but from my very little experience, I can tell you that this is an amazing software, and I'm definitely going to be using this when I start prototyping this game that I have coming up very shortly. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If this video sucked, I know it was a bit long, but if this video sucked, you know what to do. But if it didn't, drop a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more content. Remember to check out our website, social media, and merch. All of those links will be in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.